Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about why retro gaming is awesome in 2018. Now, some of y'all watching y'all are from school and y'all don't even, some of y'all don't even know why retro gaming is even a thing anymore. There's reasons, and here's why. But before I start talking about this, just to let you know, the last videos I posted, the last one, I accidentally recorded it wrong and did all the editing, so this one's better because I am doing it right now. I'm doing it great. So, let's get into it. So, let's say you have a Nintendo Switch. Okay, you want to download something online. Let's say, for some reason, you didn't have Fortnite on it. And I know most of y'all like Fortnite, so you download that. It takes 1 or 2 hours to download. Sometimes the online services crash, you can't use them. It's not as good, and it takes a long time. Oh, you think that's bad? Well, guess what? There have been reports on the Nintendo Switch left Joy-Cons getting disconnected from the Switch. And sometimes they just don't work randomly. It's not very good. But take this for example. If you want to set up a console, you take your game, such as Mega Man 6, you just pop it in your console, and then you turn it on. It's simple as that. Well, these days, it's like you take your Switch, you have to sign it, make an account, you gotta make your profile picture, your name, you gotta put in your Wi-Fi and your password for your Wi-Fi. It's just a bunch of extra steps that you do not want to do. Because you already have to plug it all in and try and find room for that, which that can take a while. And then you have to do that, and then you know, the only way I think is best to do this is it's already set up for your console. So you take your retro console, such as an NES, you plug it straight in, and that's the only installation you need to do. You put the game in, and then you press on with the controller in your hands, press start, play. It's as simple as that. Now, I know it's getting faster on loading whenever you choose it to go to a game, but still, why does it take so long, even? Like, you gotta go through all the options a lot of the times, and you gotta go through the loading screens on lots of games. You have to do all that, but this, it's so simple. I like it so much that it doesn't make you wait so long. Also, now, just before I say this one, some consoles are getting expensive, but anyways, consoles are cheap, like Xbox One S, or whatever, Xbox One. I believe that is $400. Nintendo Switch, $300. What the heck? That is expensive. If you're a fan of gaming, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, $300 for the console, $60 for a game, $70 for extra controllers, another $70 for another one for like a pro controller, and then $60, $60, $60, $60, and so forth until you get games that you want. That usually doesn't happen as much with the retro consoles. Let's say you wanted to get a random game such as Mario 3. This would cost $20 to $30. That's how much it would normally be, right? Well, a Nintendo Switch game, completely not true. You pay $60. Now, I do understand that the Super Nintendo games that I want to get, they're getting expensive. You know, they're getting super expensive now, just because they're old. They're really good games, but you know, there's less people buying them because of that. You know, but they're still really good. I definitely recommend getting them. Also, accessories. This just makes me laugh. Oh, today, let's say the Switch. Oh, you want to get an accessory? Yeah, you just get a extra controllers for $70, or a $30 wired controller, or another $70 for another controller. It blows my mind how expensive the controllers are getting. What? That does not make any sense. But you can just get a retro console, and if they don't work, look up videos or something to clean them. You have to clean them sometimes. Take this for example. This is an original Super Nintendo controller, right? Well, if you took this and compared to a Switch controller, well, I mean, there's like a complete difference. A original Super Nintendo controller versus Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, it's completely different, but this is really old now. Look at this. This is 90s. It's so awesome, though. I mean, the innovation of this, these two buttons up here, these four over here, it's super comfortable to hold. It's nice. Also, just to let you know, these are here. These are what started off with this, and then it went over to the PlayStation and the Xbox. So they pretty much stole the idea of this top buttons right here. So, okay, Nintendo for the win. Anyways, yes, I get that Super Nintendo games are kind of expensive. In fact, my games, like my 3 games that I own right now. Okay, my 3 games that I own. This was $30. This was $70. Actually, around 65. Anyways, 70. $20. They're getting expensive. This one is kind of hard to find, though, so it makes sense. But still, kind of expensive for an old game. Still, they're all, it's cheap. In any way, it's still a lot cheaper to buy retro consoles and games than to get a new console. I mean, Super Nintendo's so worth it. I mean, the graphics are so awesome. And I'm sorry I'm looking this way. It's just the camera's on this side, and I'm trying to do it like horizontally, whatever. Gosh. So, hold on, let me put these games up. I have 4 to put up. I also, if you think about it, they're not as bad as you think. Like, do whatever you want with if you get a retro console. Like, you can do NES, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2 counts. PlayStation 3 kind of counts. And, the, original Xbox, Sega consoles, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Atari, Odyssey, all kinds of stuff. You can choose anything you want, just your preference. Now, my preference, obviously, is Atari, Super Nintendo, and NES, and Game Boy. Those are my main focus. But also, just to let you know, DS still counts. DS is pretty old now. So, yeah, I mean, I can't express how much money is spent more on new games than old ones. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say you want the new Call of Duty. I heard that there's a new Call of Duty Black Ops game. It's $120. Really? for a game. Yeah, I get that. They are insane all of a sudden, but if you take Super Nintendo, for example, the games are still expensive, especially if they're rare. If you go to 806 and you want a game, they can be expensive if you want them. Let's take for example, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. That is a rare game. There's not many of them, so they're selling it for $100 something. Okay. Anyways, there's what else they have that's expensive? Oh, Mega Man X3 and 2. X2 and X3 didn't sell as much. Expensive. I mean, if they're selling it for $40, that's worth it. Definitely pick that up. That's a good price for one. I mean, if they're selling it for like let's say Super Mario Kart for over 40 or 50. Oh gosh, you're at the wrong store. Get out of there as fast as you can. Get a good copy and don't spend that much money. Anyways, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Also, you might not realize this, but the controllers and games, I mean, these things are super old and they still work. Even my Atari games, those still work. You gotta clean them, though. Don't leave them rotting in a barn, like, just don't. It's simple. Also, one last thing. A lot of consoles use disc. That's a problem. A big problem. Cartridges you can easily clean. And disc, you can clean them as much as you want. But they get scratched way too easy. Like, I used to have Skate 3 on Xbox 360 when I had that. I got it brand new, and literally, really soon afterwards, it was very scratched. I barely did anything. I dropped it on the floor, the carpet. It was so scratched. I can't believe that it scratches that easily. See, that's the problem. I just don't like it. I get it. I like some of the new games today, but gosh, just try them out sometime. You know, pick up a game. Pick up Mario 2 or whatever. Just go ahead and do it. It's worth it. Trust me. But yeah, that's all for today's video, and I will post a new video in like 5 minutes later because make a new one because I'm trying to do up to at least 4 videos today, and that'll wrap it up. So thanks for watching this video. So bye.